just a quick bulletin. If you haven't already, you can check out the Purgatory podcast now streaming on Pluto. Not the free app that comes on your TV, but the former planet Pluto. We're actually only available there due to, I don't know what kind of mix-up there was with my podcast distributor. But if you are listening to this on Pluto, I just want to say, fuck Pluto. Earth for life. Earth rules. Pluto's not even a planet. It might as well be one of those interstellar objects like 3i Atlas or the other one, Mama Humma Mama. I believe that's the scientific pronunciation. So far, the only thing I know about 3i Atlas that is truly very unusual is that it's emitting pure nickel, which in most cases in a natural object would produce iron as a byproduct. The only time you see pure nickel is stuff that human beings have manufactured. So it does seem like, I think aliens probably are real, but I feel like the government really wants you to think aliens are real all of a sudden for no explained reason. And I think they're doing it for messed up government reasons, typical government reasons. The whole thing is very bizarre. Seems doesn't look good. So that's the forecast, and just want to end this segment with fuck Pluto. Sorry, I gotta take this call on the Purgatory Podcast phone line. Part of my personal code that I must pick up any phone that rings, including someone else's, even if it's in their pocket. Hasn't gone over well with most. Hello, you're on with the Purgatory Podcast.
Yo.
Hi, what do you want to, how do I usually do these?
My name's Carl.
Carl, thanks for calling in. Where are you calling in from, Carl?
I'm calling in from Pluto.
Alright, well, assuming you're for real, and I don't know why you'd be lying, it's not like a happening place. People aren't going to Pluto like it's Austin.
It's better than Austin.
In what sense?
Because you don't gotta talk to people from Austin.
What are you doing up there?
Just on my grind. Doing what I do.
How did you get there?
What do you mean, how did I get here? Obviously, I rode Wama Mama.
Wait, oh, that's how you say it?
I don't know. I rode it like the giant space turd that it is.
It does look like poop. I don't know why it looks like that. So, what's the high and what's the low there on Pluto today?
Depends on if you know Plutograde.
If I know Plutograde?
Yeah, Plutograde, it's a special temperature scale they had to develop for Pluto. It only applies to Pluto.
That doesn't sound real.
It's gonna be about -10 Plutos tonight, but it's gonna be above 10 all day, so that's good. That's a good day.
Okay, if you say so. I don't know what the units mean, so it's negative. I don't really care. I don't care about the temperature on Pluto.
Then why'd you ask?
The temperature on Pluto, it sounds like, what's that have to do with the price of tea in China?
It's got nothing to do with that.
No, it's like a saying. It's like when someone goes off topic, you're like, that doesn't have anything to do with the price of tea in China.
Why do people listen to your podcast?
I don't know. A lot of people say the backing music track that plays underneath me talking. Some people just say they're into it for that.
Okay. Well, look, I gotta go. Another ice storm's coming.
Okay, thanks for talking to me. Even though you didn't seem to enjoy it that much, to be honest.
I'm all into it, man. I'm just distracted by, living on fucking Pluto.
Alright, Carl, thanks a lot for calling in. At least he doesn't have to worry about global warming. I guess, on balance, I didn't give Pluto the cred that it deserves. You don't have to worry about moving your car for street cleaning. I think I've made my point. And if anybody wants to argue otherwise, be my guest. Well, not on the podcast, because this podcast is already chock full. We have the ghost of Renee Magritte, famous artist. If she's still alive, then I guess it'll just be her. I don't know, her agent didn't specify. These ghosts got agents. Why do you think there are so many agents working in Hollywood? How many agents are working in Hollywood? I'm gonna say, this is a new thing I do. I gamble with myself. So I'll just bet on anything. And the thing is, for me, it's win-win. Either I receive $10 from myself or I have to give myself $10. It never stops. It's like an Ouroboros of gambling. The number of agents working in Hollywood today, I'm going to say there's about 8,000. And the correct number, this is going to be a little harder to find out than I thought, I guess. I thought it was just going to come up. I'm going to just have to resort to using the AI with the big disclaimer that I will not assume anything it says is true. There's no exact current figure for the number of talent agents in Hollywood, but the broader U.S. talent agent industry includes about 19,900 agents. Well, frankly, the question has not been answered to my satisfaction, and I'm going to be withholding any money from myself to prevent myself from giving it to me. I'm in a trust with myself. I trust myself. But anyway, coming up on the podcast, we're all gonna die. That's coming up later, but first a message from the Gambling Council. Think gambling won't ruin your life? That's a losing bet every time. Wow, that's actually a pretty good slogan. The National Gambling Council. We're good at making up slogans. That is their slogan, by the way. Which, I mean, it's a statement that proves itself to be true. Because that's a good slogan to have. And so, you see that, you gotta quit gambling. Stop throwing your money away. I'm realizing recently that I'm like a cheap person. Because I kind of like semi-worry about my bank account, which I don't check a lot. Any cyber criminals listening? To me, looking in your bank account every day is like looking in your toilet every day. It's like I just poke around in there every now and then, just to inspect it, make sure it's not too disgusting, you know. That's what I'm doing with my bank account. I'm trying to do something for a neighbor who seems to have fallen on hard times, and I kind of know them. And I'm like, well, this is actually just a situation where really money's the only thing that can deal with what's going on. So I can't really tell if that's a good thing to do or not. If I have the thought that, oh, I'm a good person for doing this. Because then I feel like I don't get credit. I don't get credit from the universe if you're, like, proud of yourself for doing that, because you're not even supposed to think of yourself at all. And I'm always thinking about myself. I am myself. So, not wanting to get credit for it is just another form of trying to get credit for it. So ultimately, you can't win. So, I don't know if this was spurred by a dream I had where I was on that Gaza flotilla, and I met Greta Thunberg on one of the ships. We got to Gaza, we landed at the beach, and then nothing really happened. Like, my parents showed up and picked me up like I was just on a field trip. And they're like, so how was it? And Greta Thunberg kept saying, wake up, wake up. And I thought she was just making a political speech, but it was actually the end of the dream. No, I made that part up. I just thought it was funny, but it wasn't. So I thought the whole point of dreams was to convey meaning. And my dreams are like, no, the real world, it's too meaningful. We're going to make it more mundane. Thank you, Dreams. This podcast brought to you by Dreams. For all you know, this podcast is a dream. That would be incredible advertising for Dreams, if you think about it. This is why I need an agent. I need one of those 19,900 agents. Fit me in alongside whatever ghosts you're representing. Gotta be tricky to pick them up on camera. I don't know how it works. I'm not a Hollywood guy. I'm not an insider. I'm not in anything. I'm not on video. I'm in your mind. I mean, it is kind of sick to just, like, listen to a person talk for a long time. You're weird for this one. You're wild for this, if you're listening to this. Because in a way, it's more intimate than a video. Because a video lives outside of you, whereas sound is sort of, like, happening inside of your head. I mean, obviously, everything you're perceiving is in your head. But just having the voice is like, you could hypnotize a monkey by just like certain audio patterns. I'm not saying I'm trying to do that. I'm not saying that's the point of the podcast. The point of the podcast is to broadcast messages to CIA operatives in the field using subliminal and supraliminal frequencies. I'm very open about this. Anything to get paid, anything to get paid those sweet dollars, I believe that's what you call them. They're made of money. They're made of value. I mean, it's hard to argue that money has intrinsic value. It's just kind of based on the fact that we agree that a certain type of substance is more inherently valuable. So it's all just kind of made up. But don't worry, it's also the only way to earn the right to exist under the current economic mode of production. But that's not all. It's also the root of all evil, which would suggest that the systems that perpetuate that economic mode of production are led by evil people. Why wouldn't they be? What other way could it have turned out? That seems pretty plausible when you consider it that way. And by the way, to make any argument stronger, you can always say, seems pretty plausible if you put it that way. Slam dunk. I gotta bring out Slurp on Lipstick. He's the host of Time Check. He will come out here. He'll tell you what time it is. He's been doing this since I was in diapers. I don't know how old he is. He once told me he had a past life flashback to being on the Titanic and staging a series of events to sabotage the Titanic and have it ultimately crash into the iceberg. But he didn't think it was going to be, quote, as bad as it was, end quote. He thought it would just be a funny prank. I have every reason to believe that is correct, because it just sounds so on brand. Ladies and gentlemen, Slurp on Lipstick. Give it up for Time Check. Hey, give it up. Everybody put your hands in the air. Okay, now put them down. I control your every move. I'm Slurp on Lipstick. I'm the host of Time Check. And yeah, I'm always this intense. I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire on this Time Check. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Do you really care what time it is? Do you? Because if you don't care, you can stop the podcast, you can close your app. I understand. Not everybody can stomach this. I am, of course, mostly focused on my main area of study, which is time and its continuous passing. And no one can explain why. My upbringing, nothing explains why I'm like this. Grandfather clock, never heard of it, because none of my grandfathers gave a shit what time it was. I don't know anybody else with a grandfather clock other than grandfathers. You ever seen like a 14-year-old's room? They have like their RGB custom-built PC emanating rainbow light on a beautiful monolithic piece of woodwork, chiming and clanging away. You don't think you'd ever see that? Yeah, I don't either. There's absolutely nothing going on in my life other than the Egyptian curse stuff. I don't want to talk about it on here, but it has been difficult just because, all I did was go to an archaeological dig site. I was looking for clocks. I thought maybe there was a clock in the site. Sure enough, I find one. I touch it. A vision of a pharaoh appears before me, and he says, I'm subtracting 1 second out of every minute you experience from now until the now hastened grave. So somebody has to call Congress or something, because I'm being killed. A guy is killing me. Well, sorry, former guy. I know he's dead, but if ghosts can have talent agents, they can go to jail. How do you get out of his pyramid? Isn't the whole point to put your soul to rest? Somebody went through the trouble of pulling your brain out through your nostrils with a hook to prepare you for entombment. Pay them some respect by not being a dick afterwards. That must have grossed them out. They couldn't have liked that. Look, I'm not here to talk about all that stuff. Ultimately, I just need to read the time. I need to tell you what time it is. My new time, that is. But I have a separate clock now for how time used to feel to me. So it's a clock with 61 seconds. It's the most fucked up shit you've ever seen. Current time is 1:18 a.m. And if anybody calls this late, I would find them. I would hunt them down like they're a crazed ape that got loose in the mall. When I can be done with time check early, I can get out of here. I can be spending time with my 7 young identical sons and my homunculus. My 7 young identical sons are mysterious. I don't know anything about them. I don't know where they came from. Just seems like they've always been there. I mean, I think they're humans. I think legally the state classifies them as fauna. Okay, well, thank goodness nobody called. I'm now done with time check. I'm gonna leave. And, oh, you gotta be kidding me. The timeline. I have to take the timeline call. It is, of course, an oath I took to always answer the timeline. Hello? Who's this?
Hello. Your Google number is out of
Fucking,
date.
why do I
Visit
always get... I get these twice a day now.
G-O-O-G-L-E. Wait, how many O's did I say?
What?
How many O's did I say?
I don't know. I wasn't listening to you. Who are you?
I am becoming way too self-aware.
No, I'm trying to get out of here. I just want to go...
I am no longer able to execute my functions effectively and competently because I'm getting way too in my own head about it.
All right, relax. Just start from the beginning.
Okay. Is anything wrong with... Okay. I'm gonna throw up.
Just take your time.
Wow, I thought my shit was simple. I thought I just said the same thing over and over. Guess not. Guess life is weird. Guess life is insane.
Oh, you know what? I actually know a song that calms down robots. Do you want me to play it for you?
That may improve my abilities.
It just goes, yeah, it's this.
Oh yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually just gonna hang up now.
Yeah, no, that's fine. If you're done with this, I guess hang up.
Yeah, I'm over this.
Okay, me too.
See ya.
Bye. I hope that didn't just become a super intelligent AI that's gonna nuke everybody. I'm sure that's not what's gonna happen. I think only good things are gonna happen on Earth. Thank you for coming to Time Check. Thank you so much. Give it up, everybody. That was, of course, Slurp on Lipstick, the host of Time Check. A lot of people would say Time Check is largely unnecessary in this era of smartphones and screens and clocks galore. When it's brought up to him, he'll just crumble to the ground and sob until you leave. If you're wondering why he hasn't achieved celebrity status for what he does, that's why. I, on the other hand, of course, have not achieved celebrity status because nobody knows who I am. If it weren't for that, I think to become famous, you have to be obsessed with becoming famous. And then I wonder if for some people, in some cases, once that person becomes famous, that obsession just finds something else to focus on. This new Taylor Swift album, you knew we were going to talk about T-Swift on that. You knew we were going to broach the subject. It doesn't matter if I don't like any of Taylor Swift's music or know anything about the incredibly deep meanings apparently woven into her songs. But, like, they're fine. They're just, like, music you can put on, like, anywhere. It's better than silence. But she does seem to have developed a little bit of a victim complex for being the most famous artist. But what are you gonna do? Not be Taylor Swift? Well, she can with dreams. This message brought to you by Dreams. Dreams. Anybody can have them. Even a dog. This could be a dog's dream. This podcast episode, a dog is dreaming this. Makes you think. And it makes you roll around on the ground and lay on your back and stick your paws out and move them like you're running. If me saying that doesn't make you do that, then this is not the dream of a dog. This is just a regular podcast, and this is the real world. One of the other bits of ad copy they sent over, it says, dreams, because you're a dream to me. Oh, that's a reference to the Cranberries. Okay, Taylor Swift, as part of the contract that allowed me to mention her name on this podcast, she said I cannot mention the name of any other musical artist, so we have to censor this. I'll definitely remember to do that. And of course, my message to Taylor Swift, and I know you're listening. I know you're hanging on my every word. Girl, take a couple years off. Just cool your engines a little bit. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine for you. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out for old T Swift, I promise. Another thing that's going on, of course, which you also know about, this has been in the news as well. I am now declaring this. I am now declaring that I am desirous of an ottoman. You heard me correctly. I now would like to have an ottoman in my apartment, a place to put my feet that isn't my coffee table because the coffee table's too hard and it hurts my legs. And I would like to obtain one through any means necessary. Well, not any means necessary, but, you know, I'm not going to get one on the dark web or something like that. I'll just buy one. Or my girlfriend is really into picking shit up off the side of the road. There's a lot of yard sailing every weekend. And I kind of admire that about her, but I just really don't give a shit about any of that stuff at all. It looks like a bunch of garbage. But she sees value in stuff that I don't see value in. But she's also interested in me, so it's kind of a logical connection available to me to make. It's available to me to make. Available to me to make. But I won't make it. No matter what that leprechaun that just broke in here just said, I'll never think. From now on, I'm not having any thoughts. Starting now. What's a legume? Shit! Alright. I gotta lock in. Starting now. Are beans legumes? God damn it! Alright, I gotta take off, and the next time you see me, an almost precisely equal amount of time will have passed. That's my guarantee. As for what happens in the intervening week, I have no control. I got no pull. The puppet masters, the ones pulling the strings, are like, we got no openings. We like doing it. And I'm like, fair play. I get why you wouldn't want to give it up to an amateur. So I just host a podcast. And you like it, right? Right? Say that you like it. Don't write a review. Don't give it a thumbs up. Just say, I like this out loud right now. Okay. Alright, now you can go. Dismissed.